Hi guys, once again welcome to my channel. So today we will be discussing on some of the applications of trigonometry. Okay, so till now our last session we have just discussed about like trigonometric identities and trigonometric ratios, starting from trigonometric ratios to till trigonometric identities, and we have done few problems regarding to the trigonometric identities, right? Now, the next topic is applications of trigonometry. Some of the basic applications of trigonometry. Do you remember, like on the first session, I said about a person standing in front of an electric pole and staring the peak, that is the last point of the electric pole. So we have just discussed about it, right? So in this topic exclusively we will be discussing about heights and distances. Okay, so heights and distances are one of the major application of trigonometry. So you need to remember this. Trigonometric was found basically for astronomy. Okay, so it has a very huge applications in astronomy. Okay, so like these details are available even on the net. Now, coming to the heights and distances. Now, what is heights and what are distances? Like, if I take an example of electric pole, what is the height, and if you're standing in front of the electric pole, so at what distance you're standing on? Okay, so I'll just take an example now. Okay, over here I've taken an example of a tall building. Okay, now if you see, this is a tall building and you're standing somewhere here. Okay, so you're standing somewhere here, like it's not you, generally a person standing in front of a building. Now this is the line which is in a contact the eyesight, and this is the base, and now he is observing to the peak of the building, that means to the topmost part of the building, on top of the building. Now over here he is making some angle theta, correct? And what is this called as? If you have a check over here, so this is nothing but a line of sight, correct, to which he is looking at. So that imaginary line is called as line of sight. And now what is this theta is called as, guys? Now theta is called as angle of elevation. Now what is this called as? Angle of elevation. Okay, through which he is, at what angle is observing the top of building, is called as angle of elevation. Okay, simple. Now suppose if I want to represent all this thing in a line diagram, just have a check over here. Now I'll just draw a imaginary line. Now suppose here is the imaginary line and this is the ground level, and this point is what the sight, I mean his eyes are located at, and this is the line of sight, and this is theta. Got it? Now if I name this as A, B, and this as C, this as D, and this as E, total AD is equals to height of the building, correct? So this is nothing but height of building, correct? And BE is height of the person, correct? Understood? In the question, in the future questions, if they ask you to find out the height of a building, you need to mention this. What is the height from here to here till D? Okay, simple. Now this is in terms of angle of elevation. Now let's look into another case. What will gonna happen? Now imagine the same person is standing here, okay, and he's looking at the top, but now he is not looking at the top. Now there is another friend of him who is standing at the top of the building. He or she is staring at him. Okay, imagine like whatever the friends are, it is up to your imagination. Now he or she is staring at him. Now look, this is the horizontal line now, correct? This is the horizontal line. Now in previous case, what happened? Which was the horizontal line? In our previous case, this was our horizontal line, or in other words to say, the ground was a horizontal line in our previous case. But since now the person who is on the top of the building is looking at the bottommost person, so our theta comes here, correct? Now this is line of sight, this will remain as it is, no change. But what is this theta is called as? Previous it was called as angle of elevation, but now it is angle of depression. Got it? Now imagine, in previous case he was looking up, so he was being elevated, the observation was being elevated, but now the observation have been depressed to see the object at the bottom. Now this angle is called as angle of depression. Okay, you need to know the difference, guys. Angle of elevation when to use and angle of depression when to use. If the person is looking at the bottom, so that means it's angle of depression. If the person is looking at the top of any building, it might be, or it might be an electric pole, or it might be some other pole, or it can be on top of the mountain as well. So it can be anything. I'm just taking a building as the example. Okay, understood? Now this is the horizontal level, this is the angle of depression. Make sure angle of elevation or angle of depression is always taken along the horizontal level itself. Okay, so you cannot mention the angle of elevation or depression outside the horizontal level. Okay, so it should always be on a horizontal level. From the horizontal level itself, you need to know what is the angle of elevation or depression. Easy. Have you understood the concept now? So like in this, what kind of problems you might expect? Like, you need to find the total length, or you need to find the angle of elevation or angle of depression, or from what distance, like as I said, this is the distance, correct? So this is the distance from which the object is placed, or they might ask you to find the distance as well. So these are some of the problems, like some of the kind of problems which will arise in this topic, heights and distances. Okay, so no need to worry. In our next session, we'll just go to the in-depth problem analysis of heights and distances. So what are the various kinds of problems you have, it will be solved. Don't worry, I'll be solving it for you. If you have any doubts, even you can just mention in a comment what are the doubts you have, or what are the problems you're facing, or trouble, okay, which is giving you a trouble. Please mention in a comment box. Okay, now in our next session we'll be discussing the problems related to this heights and distances. Till then, make sure you study or you just go through all the basics starting from the introduction part of trigonometry till trigonometric identities. So you should have to know everything, guys, everything you have to know. So please make sure you're doing your basics very well and never to forget it. Okay, so I hope you all have understood the heights and distances concept. Okay, so if you're a new person to my video, please make sure you like, share and subscribe to my channel, and never to forget to hit the bell button, so that you'll be notified with every new videos of mine. Okay, so hope you all have liked this session. So, and please make sure you're getting in for my next session, and we shall together solve some of the problems. Okay, so till then, make sure you practice the basics. Okay, take care, bye bye, and stay safe.